a anti-parasitic drug called fenbendazole being used to cure all kinds of cancers. And I want to speak to this. There's also a white paper that's been put out by Paul Merrick, who is one of the co-founders of flccc.net. The actual article is all about the same thing, fenbendazole actually being a cure for many cancers. I've also talked with other medical professionals in the last 2 weeks about this same topic, that fenbendazole, with their personal patients and with colleagues, friends, and acquaintances. They have seen multiple cases over the last 15 years of simply using fenbendazole, which is a drug that ruptures parasitic eggs, as being a cure for almost every cancer. So why do I find this significant? So I appreciate the ask, but every time these medical professionals talk to me about fenbendazole or hydroxychloroquine or ivermectin being cures for cancers, I get excited for them because they're super elated and excited to see this as a possible therapeutic without chemotherapy, radiation, or the complications of surgery as the only solutions offered worldwide right now for cancers, that there's an alternative that is safer. So is ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, fenbendazole safer than chemotherapy and radiation? 1 billion%. Do I think you need those anti-parasitic drugs to cure cancer? No. Most of those drugs are actually prescriptions that are patents of things found in nature. So, for example, if hydroxychloroquine has been found to actually help people with cancers, that's because its benefit comes from its structure being so identical to quercetin, which quercetin is what is called a bioflavonoid, a nutritional component found in the fruit rinds and vegetable skins of plants. So HCQ has actually many published studies of helping to cure and reverse cancers. Also, ivermectin has been, and so has fenbendazole. Well, I have been recommending herbs for decades, actually, which have helped to either mitigate, reverse entire cancerous tumors, polyps that have been diagnosed as cancers for years. But I did not need the drugs to do it. So, for example, ivermectin has an herb. Ivermectin's a patented prescription drug, but there's an actual plant called wormwood that has the exact same mechanism of action as ivermectin. So I don't need a prescription drug. I can use wormwood or I can use dandelion root, which are both very anti-parasitic. You can use artemisinin, which is also another fancy term for wormwood. But these are plants that are proven to have the exact same actions as those. Fenbendazole happens to have the action of rupturing parasitic egg sacs. So as we're seeing the likes of Paul Merrick publishing papers, the Substacks I saw this morning on fenbendazole's action to cure and reverse cancers, this actually just supports one huge narrative I've been preaching to every patient for the last 20 years. And that is 80 to 90% of every single cancer I've ever seen in my practice, it wasn't cancer. It was actually parasitic egg sacs or adult parasitic worms that were being misdiagnosed as cancer.